field to go sow wheat, and the module trucks are here. They just picked up 2 modules, so they got 3 more to get. He's wondering what I'm doing, and I'm trying to tell him that I'm turning. There you go. Alright. See ya, module. I'm thankful for our gin and our gin manager Rex, who's been there a long time, and thankful for him being smart and keeping that gin relevant while lots of gins are shutting down, which is unfortunate. He's bringing in cotton from all over, from pretty good ways away. I'd say 2 hours away, maybe, in different directions, which is great. So that's going to allow our gin to make some money and stay running and keep employees paid and things like that. But that just means that where that cotton would normally go, they didn't open this year. Hopefully they're not shutting down. Hopefully they're just going to reopen next year, I hope. My concern is what happens in a year where we have lots of cotton. How will it ever get ginned? I mean, we'll run a 24-hour. Our gin will run 24 hours, as most of them probably would. Run a day crew and a night crew, but still, that's a lot of cotton to run through. And so again, hopefully this is not a problem. Hopefully these gins can pop back up, but I don't know. We have lost enough already, so I hate to lose any more. So I'm going to sow wheat a little bit, get in the right rows, and make sure everything's running on the planter, the grain drill right. Watch the humidity. There's more of a frost here than at home. There was nothing on my windshield, but but everywhere I'm driving here, you can't really see it in the bare ground as much, but in the low areas in the grass, you can kind of see that frosty layer. So there's some moisture on the ground, which means there's moisture on the lint, which means even if the humidity gets low enough, we're going to still have to make sure that moisture dries out. So I got some time here to sow, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Hopefully it goes smooth and I can just tractor ride for a little while until I gotta get the strippers cleaned off. I already went and picked up the trailer, and Dad will need to bring the diesel trailer out to the field because we're sucking diesel down, and then hopefully we can have a fantastic day of sowing wheat today and stripping cotton. But it's all got to get done. Probably stripping is the priority. If we have the weather to do it, we need to get the stripping done. I need to grab these new discs to leave in the tractor. A little bit of frost on there. Just checked the grain drill over. Seed cups all look good. I don't see any visible discs locked down from just finishing in that mud. Not the mud. It was just that loose dirt. Ooh, these discs are cold. Alright, just gonna check the wool. Hydraulic. It's there. It's hard to see. It's real hard to see. But it's there. Now the engine oil. Don't fall. Please don't fall. I think I'm a little bit nose down, but I've got some engine oil. I've thought this was a slightly low, so I'm going to go get some and put a little bit more in there. I've been carrying a mess of keys in my pocket. An 8130 key, actually I have 2 of those. 4555 key, actually I have 2 of those. Stripper keys, I have 2 of those. Dad has another stripper key and 1 each of the others. Luckily he's keeping those now, but I have just a mess, a conglomeration if you will, in here. I thought I had it in my pocket. Huh. I don't know what I did with that. Stupid. It was in my house. Oh my goodness. I put it in my coat hoodie pocket. Oh my goodness. Foolish. Foolish. Okay. Guess I needed the exercise. How much do you put in? Just the right amount. And make sure the right kind. That seems like enough. I can tell how much thicker the oil is this morning, obviously. I think that should be good. First row's going. You can see there's some just a little moisture on the ground picking up on those tires on the drill, but so hopefully that's not going to be a problem with my discs collecting, you know, burrs and lint and stuff on the ground. That's a little bit damp, so we will find out. Sometimes I'll back up and see if I see any dirt piles that are mounding up at the front that I can't see otherwise, but everything looks good. I'll get out and look here in a little bit, but so far I think it's going all right. Now to the hydraulics warm up, I gotta go make sure my discs are in the ground, or I'll leave a spot where I'm not sowing any wheat. You may be wondering why there's leaving a blank spot over there next to the wheat. Well, if you've been watching, you know. If not, I'll explain it again. So we shift every year. Every time we plant cotton in the next year, we shift 4 feet one direction or the other. And so if I shift 8 feet, I drive from the middle, driving like I normally do, to the next pairs. So 4 feet puts me in the middle. And so what that does is that allows me to put the next cotton rows in this blank area. So 2 of them go between these 4 here. So that just allows us to not be running the planter and the equipment all in the same spot every year, compacting the exact same spots every year. We're moving around, and so I think that gives us, when we strip till not everything, but we get to strip till more of the land, not just the same spot every year. I think that probably helps with water infiltration and things like that. So just think, like, I strip tilled in this pair, you know, last year, and then the next year I'll strip in the middle of all of those. And so every 2 years, because this won't be cotton for another, it'll be wheat, and then the next year it'll be cotton again. So I get a chance to strip till it that way. So that's why you see that gap, which is really 4 feet, because I shifted I was 4 feet off of my boundary line when I planted this cotton. And so to get in the right rows, I needed to shift 4 feet closer, which puts me right on the boundary line. And that leaves a space there for now. But the next year, when I plant cotton over here, next year, it'll be right up next to where I'm sowing wheat. So there won't be a gap. Everything's going good. Just want to get out and check and see seed cups and mostly the discs, because some of this I can't see behind me or behind these tires. So seed cups are easy check. Now I just want to see, I don't think there's anything, but these ones right here kind of behind where they've been running in these that stuff, that's what I was concerned with. But that side looks okay. I think we're good. Good deal. Just this is what's going to happen. Where we drove on it, it's hard, you know. So we're not getting, not going to get any coverage hardly on some of that. But then that should work. But slabbing out a little bit. but I got to keep the pressure up to get it, try to get it in those rows where I drove when we packed it. So it's kind of a find a happy medium. Like right here. It's trying to. Obviously better to strip when the ground's dry. You don't pack it, but then if it's dry, then you'll have moisture to sew into. So what normally happens on stuff like this is we get a stand, stuff that's not been packed, which comes up pretty good, and then we need a rain to bring up the stuff that's in the track. So I don't know if we'll get that or not, but that's what we're gonna have to shoot for. Stuff's starting to dry down a little bit. The wheels aren't near as dirty, and the humidity's coming down around 50%. So I'm gonna finish this round back down there, and then I'm gonna go clean the strippers off. Well, that's it for this today. About 25 acres or so of this 150-ish. All still looks good. I don't think this was locked down necessarily, it's just junk in here. Stalks. Okay, it does appear that this one is locked down. So tomorrow, don't let me forget to fix that. I'm gonna take a closer look at some of these. So that's what I'm looking for. I didn't see anything else that looked that way. I'm looking for obviously visible stuff like this in front, but on the side there's only buildup on the bottom. That means it's been plowing. So hopefully, I don't know how long that's been going. Hopefully not too long. You can rub a flat spot in those discs. Also, if you get too much dirt buildup, it'll kind of pull those discs apart, which can ruin those bearings. So tomorrow, lock it in, fix that disc first thing. It's not what I really want to do first thing, but I also locked the tractor and all that already. So, you know, tomorrow's going to be warmer. We're supposed to get back up in the 70s in a couple days, which is just crazy. So, all right, the walk back. Well, I'm done cleaning. It made a mess. It was dirty. So Dad's coming diesel. I got to grease something on the builder, and then I'll be ready. Put some diesel in, and then I'll be ready to go. Welcome back to the episode of What Did Emily Bring Me for Lunch Today? It's a hamburger made with whole wheat, fresh milled flour that we grew, and beef from my sister and brother-in-law's ranch. We didn't milk the cow for the cheese though, but we could have grilled the sesame. We did that in the past, but I guess we're not doing it now. So, you know, farm to table. Just here showing you how we do it. All right, got that builder set up. Dad's gonna go put it somewhere. I'm going to strip cut. Damage here on the end. They just and deer maybe as much as anything. I was thinking I would explain to you kind of how I'm going to get paid from this crop. So I obviously stripping the cotton, we put it in the modules. The gin comes and picks up the modules and takes them to their yard, so they're ready to gin them whenever they can get to them. The ginning process is kind of neat. I was hoping I was going to be able to get some videos of that. Maybe I still have time if they're still ginning by the time I can get over there, which they should be, because there's not many people that are stripping, and there's not many people that are still stripping besides me. So follow washout. So I'll try to get over there and show you the ginning process, where they take the modules, they feed them, they kind of chew them up, and then through air, they just send them throughout their system, and they separate the seed, the trash, and the lint. And so when I gin that module, or when I send that when I strip this cotton, in normal years, you could expect maybe a third of seed, a third of lint, and a third of trash is kind of what's in that module. Obviously, it depends on, like, picker cotton is going to be cleaner because it's not taking the burrs, it's just taking the lint and the seed in theory. So that should be cleaner. Their turnouts are probably way higher. But this year, we're having a lot more trash, and the lint's lower and the seed's higher, just because of the quality of the cotton. So I will get paid from the seed. Normally the seed is what they use. We sell our seed to a place in Lubbock, and they press it and they make cottonseed oil, which is great for cooking, frying. We've used it, Mom's used it our whole lives for everything, just as a substitute for any kind of vegetable oil, canola oil, things like that. So we sell the seed to them, and so the ginning the cotton is not free. It costs money to gin cotton, and so the seed that we sell, that goes first to our ginning costs, and then whatever's left over we get, or we pay the difference. Well, this year the price is a couple years ago the price for seed was way high, so I made some pretty good money off the seed. This year the seed price is lower, and it's because of the cotton. I'm not quite paying for the ginning this year, by not much, but a little bit. So that's on the seed part. The trash, don't get any money for trash. That would be burrs and other stuff they get out. And so on the lint, whatever the lint is, they press into bales, and then they grade those bales. They take a sample out of both sides, and they send one of those samples off to this classing department. And there's different ones around, and they give it a grade based on the color, the staple, which would be the length of each fiber, the micronair, which would be, like, the way I understand, it's like the thickness of the fiber. They put it in a deal, they blow air through it, and so the more or less air that gets through gets a different grade on mic and air, or mic. The amount of trash in there, the strength, the uniformity. There's lots of different characteristics that get grades on. Some of those are dockage, like if you have a bad value, high or low on some of them, they take money off. Or there's some that good or high or low, they add money to. You get a premium for that. What's crazy about some of this stuff this year so far is, besides the trash and the leaf, the grades have been awesome. Like, I'm very surprised. And so basically 52 cents a pound is what they consider like average load rate. And so anything above 52 is considered above average, and below is below average. I have a lot that's low. You get bark in there, different grades, it takes it down. And so that's kind of the value of your cotton. It's a standardized deal. I don't totally understand the loan deal, but it's a government loan program that in case there was a disaster, you would be guaranteed at least that value. That's the way I generally understand it, but hope to never have to use that. So anyway, say a bale of cotton, it gets graded at 48 cents, and I don't like that grade because I look at the sequence of the bales and I see this one looks really low, out of place, wonder why it was so low. Well, then you can do a bale review, and that's where that other sample comes into play. You can say, hey, test that other sample, and you might get a better grade, and you might get a worse grade. You actually get whatever the second one is. So if the value went down, well, shouldn't have reviewed it. If it went up, then that was a good call. Then I sent in some of those reviews today on the two farms I have grades back from. So that means it gives me a value. And then on how you sell the cotton is dependent upon farmers. So there's what's called the marketing pool. There's different pools. They basically pull the cotton together, and you have better buyer buying power. And so the pool can get you, it's never going to get you the highest price, but it's not going to get you the lowest price either. It's just going to keep you somewhere in the middle. It's been actually, on the average, some would say, well, selling it on the open market, you might hit higher, but you also might hit lower, and so there's not much difference from the pool. And so that would be another way, is you can take all your bales, and you get bids on them, and then you just sell them to the highest bidder. And if the price isn't good, well, that's what the market is. there you either take it or you pay to have it stored longer. We get, sorry, I'm turning, hold on, let me turn around. I don't know how other parts of the country do it, but we get 1 month of free storage where they store all the cotton bales, all the compress, and we're in the PCCA marketing pool of Plains Cotton. We're in the PCCA marketing pool, and so we get 1 month free storage. If it's in the pool, it doesn't really matter because all that cotton's getting sold. Some of that may already sold. They kind of sell it some before the season, some during the season, and some after the season. And so they try to kind of mitigate price risk by getting prices from all levels. So they'll say like, hey, all right, your loan rate's 52. We're going to pay you, we feel like we can pay you 10 cents over as an advance. So that's what they did this year, was 10 cents over the loan, and they've already approved another 5-cent progress payment. So that 52-cent cotton becomes 67-cent cotton, which is not great, but that's what the futures market is showing right now, which is terrible. So that would be the pool. One other way is you can split your fields into every other bale, where like every other bale was going to go to the pool and every other bale is going to go to open market. I'm actually going to try that on this farm of mine. I've never done it. We'll see. It may be a bad decision, but you have to decide all this stuff way back in the spring, not knowing what your cotton's going to do. So we'll see. So the first bale will go to the pool. The second bale, we'll have to sell it on and a lady at the jet will help me get bids, and they'll submit bids and I'll approve them or not. So you can do combinations of marketing and open market. There's other programs that are convoluted that I don't understand necessarily, but that's kind of how we get the cotton and from the gin, and then we get graded on it, and then we sell it. And hopefully you make a lot of cotton, and hopefully it gets good grades, and hopefully you get a good offer if you sell open market. And hopefully the pool takes care of you and does a good job and can mitigate some of those price risks. So if you got any questions, shoot me a comment. If I said something wrong, shoot me a comment. I may ignore you, or I may respond to you. You never know.